Alright, so today I'm going to do an improvement to the respawning system. Um, First thing I want to show you though is I also did a slight improvement, well, change I should say. It's not necessarily improvement to aim down sights, ADS. If you notice right here in the beginning of Update World, I don't have any of the ADS script. What I did is I moved it down to the update physics. It's the exact same code, but I also moved the mouse hit. If you move the mouse hit, you have to put APP in front of it or else it doesn't know what it's doing. Um, by doing this, instead of being called every single frame based on frame rate, it's called a certain set amount of times a second. That means that the basically the game will scale better. Lower performance machines won't take as large of a hit because it's not doing it every frame. Also, if you do stuff in Update World, because it is every frame, it'll happen more often than Update Physics, and it'll be completely based on frame rate. So if you get dips in your frame rate or peaks in your frame rate, it'll change the timing of the events that happen. So if you're doing like timers in Update World, the timers aren't necessarily correlated to real time, and that's why you use this get current get current. It gets the current time, and it's completely independent of the frame rate. Okay, so let's just get started with this tutorial real quick. So right now everything is still as I had originally set it up. I'm also going to try something a little bit different after watching one of Rick's tutorials. He made a pretty good point. Why are we making you guys sit there, watch us type out every line of code? So what I did is I wrote out all the lines of code and then just commented out the new stuff, and I'll change the commenting so you guys can still see exactly what's going on. But I mean, you're going to watch this video through maybe once or twice. You can just pause the video and type out the code line for line if you want. So just to demonstrate, the way respawning works right now is when you die, you'll lay there for an indefinite period of time until the player hits the spacebar, and then he'll respawn immediately upon hitting the spacebar. The request I got was to actually make that a time value. So the first thing we're going to do is implement a time value. So we need to start and set two new lines in the header here, and we're going to add in the respawn timer and set it to 0, and then the respawn delay. I put the default to 10 seconds. Basically time is done in milliseconds in the game, so 10 million is 10 seconds. But then in the actual player script I'm gonna do a little different. I actually set it to 5,000 for 5 seconds. You could change this number however you want. So now we have a hidden variable for the actual respawn timer, and then we have a displayed variable for the delay. And then we're going to come down here to the actual kill function. And right at the end of the kill function, what I want to do, after the player is done dying, I want to set a timer. So we're going to call that respawn timer, which is our hidden variable. And then we're going to call this command time get current. And I already explained just a minute ago how that all works. It grabs the current time in milliseconds. And then we're going to add the respawn delay, which is this shown value. This is how many seconds it'll take you to respawn. And then I'm going to change this commenting a little bit, so give me a second here. And I'm going to comment out the original when the space and the health, all this. You're not going to want to have all three of these in here whenever you publish, but I'm doing it this way to show you the three different ways. So the original way had no timer whatsoever. Now the second way is going to be completely timer dependent. So if the current time, and this is a local value that's set right here, and this is the top line of the default character script, if you don't see it there, or if you removed it for whatever reason, you'll have to add this line back in, or you can do time current, get current. But I figure if this value is already being used in update world, why not just use it again? So if the current time is greater than the respawn timer, and if you remember, the respawn timer was the current time he died plus the delay that we set, 5 seconds. So basically, if that time has elapsed and the health is 0 or less, then it'll automatically respawn the player. So let's take a look at that. So whenever we run the script and we fall to our death, that's not cool. Why did I fall through? So if we run the script and we fall to our death, just must have been a glitch. It counts off 5 seconds, and then we automatically respawn with nothing being done. And that's okay too. There are quite a few games that do that. It's usually longer than 5 seconds in those games, but that's just personal preference. How do you want to code your game? So then the last method is a much more it's a combination of the two. So basically I said, if my health is less than 0, then go inside this. And then if I hit the space key or the time elapsed, then it respawns me. So basically now I have a combination of the both, to where the player can trigger a respawn earlier, or if he just lets it sit, it'll respawn after a certain amount of time. So let's look at that. Alright, so the first time I'm going to actually wait. So when I die, if I don't do anything after 5 seconds, I'm going to automatically respawn. But if I fall to my death again, and I don't want to like lay here, I could just immediately respawn. That's probably my favorite of the 3 methods, but it's all up to you personally. I'm just going to leave these here for a couple seconds. You guys can copy them down. So that is improving the respawn. If you have any questions, let me know.